Hello, everyone. Welcome to a short demo of Iliad. This demo has been created by the RUSA STARS Education and Training Committee, and we will be working to release demos of other systems soon. Today, I'll be showing you a little bit about the look and feel of Iliad, and I'll also demonstrate the submission of a borrowing request via OCLC. Before we process a borrowing request, let's take a look at the Iliad interface and how it's set up. In the middle of the screen, you'll notice tabs for borrowing, document delivery, and lending. These tabs are separate so you can keep an eye on queues for each area of the service. The screen I'm showing you today is a test environment. My actual screen in Iliad is customized so that I can see the borrowing, document delivery, and lending screens all at once. Here's just a quick preview of what my account looks like. You can see here the sorts of customizations that are possible, even when it comes to the look and feel of Iliad. Going back to the test environment, you will see a number of queues. This test environment does include the custom queues we use in our rather complex operation here at my home institution, so I've done my best to hide those. This way, you can get a sense of what Iliad looks like out of the box. Some of these will be familiar to you: awaiting request processing, item shipped, etc. Others are, as I mentioned before, customized for our specific operation. You can double-click a queue to view the items that are in that queue, and double-click a single request to open, review, and process that request. At the top of the screen, you'll see an area where you can search for items in Iliad. The search area on the left allows you to search request numbers, including transaction numbers that Iliad assigns to each request, OCLC request numbers, and other numbers that may be assigned to requests, such as rapid numbers or order numbers. The second search area in the middle allows you to search for users. You can search by username, name, and ID. The third area allows you to search for addresses for borrowing or lending libraries. You can search by the symbol, name of the library, and by the address. Above the search area, you'll see tabs for borrowing, document delivery, lending, and system. When you click on these tabs, you'll see a ribbon that includes processing functions. For instance, in the borrowing tab, you'll see processes like check-in from lending library, electronic delivery, and check-in, among other processes. On the document delivery tab, you'll see similar processing functions, such as print pull slips and update stack search. In the lending tab, once again, more processes like print stack search and update stack search, as well as lending returns. One of the things that I have always loved about Iliad is that tasks are organized left to right on each tab, meaning that you will pretty much process items in the order that you see them on the screen, from left to right. For example, on the borrowing tab, you will mark items as checked in, print your slips for receives, and contact customers to notify them that items have arrived. Things are organized in a way that makes sense based on workflows. On the System tab, there are several administrative functions, including access to WorldCat Search, the Policies directory, resource sharing settings, and management of add-ons and custom holding groups. And now, we'll go on to a processing example. I'm going to take you into one of my custom processing queues where I've submitted a request for a book about resource sharing. As you can see, I double-clicked the queue to view the items that are in that queue. Now, I'm going to double-click the request to open it. As this window opens, you'll notice that there's a similar ribbon within the request where the processing of the request takes place. On the first tab, Detail, you'll see request information here. On the History tab, you can see when the request was submitted and anything that's been done to the request. On the Z3950 tab, you can search locally for the item to make sure it's not owned by your library. The OCLC tab is where you want to be to conduct your search of Iliad to check for holdings of the item. In this example, I'm going to search by title, but I can also search by ISBN, OCLC number, and keyword. When I search by title, I double-click the title that closely matches the one I'm searching for. Here we can see that the first record that pops up appears to be a good holding with over 200 holders. Again, I double-click and this opens the record detail for the MARC record. I then click the Holdings tab to see who holds the item. Here, I can view custom holdings groups we've set up, or I can view all holdings. In the Holdings dropdown, I'm going to click All so you can get an idea of all the holders of this material. Now, I'm going to click a custom holding and look at a book's custom holding we've created. This prioritizes local lenders and also members of consortial groups that we are a part of. See the difference in the way these holdings lists are organized. Iliad puts together a selected lender list for me. I tend to build my own lending strings, but I'm okay with the lenders that are listed here. So I'm going to click Create Work Form. On the work form, you'll see the citation information you started with, and the ISBN has been added. You'll also see the list of lenders that the system added in the previous screen. Once you're satisfied with the way the request looks, you'll click Send Request. Once again, these processes are organized left to right, so steps are easy to follow. Once I've submitted the work form, I click Request Sent again to move the request to the proper queue. I also want to be sure to plug documentation that is available from Atlas Systems. We will include the link at the end of this presentation, but here's a preview of their documentation page and what's available for view. I hope you've enjoyed this demo. Please explore Iliad documentation provided by Atlas Systems at this link. Thank you for watching.